Well, John Wick has been a massive success for Lionsgate. And no surprise here, they are working on a John Wick 5. It's in early development. I say no surprise. I mean, it is and it isn't. If you've watched John Wick 4, you'd be a bit like, huh? Really? Alright then. But there's always ways to bring people back, or, well, you know, it wasn't really on screen, so maybe. There's always ways around it. So, John Wick Chapter 4 was a huge success. It did $363 million globally. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but they are made for nothing. Like, actually, barely any money at all. Which is, yeah, good. It's kind of like the horror movie sort of business model. You know, make a film for not that much money, so we can just keep churning them out. Which, I mean, yeah. There's no real need to have $200 million budgets. The stuff that they managed to do with John Wick for such little money, it makes the whole Marvel and superhero films laughable. But basically, there was an earnings call, and the film chief Joe Drake addressed the future of the John Wick franchise. And yeah, it's positive. It's really, really positive. So Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chair Joe Drake teased development of a 5th movie in the John Wick franchise Thursday during a Q4 earnings call that has fans abuzz. I really like John Wick 4. I thought it was really, really decent. I tell you what I would like them to do is to develop Nobody. You know, do more Nobodies. They're great. They're so good. I watched that again the other day because it was on Netflix. And it's just it's a staggeringly good film. So here's the statement. It says, what is official is that, as you know, Ballerina is the first spin-off that comes out next year. We're in development on 3 others. 3 others. Including 5, John Wick 5, and including the television series The Continental. So there's 1 more. We're in development on 3 others outside of the Ballerina spin-off. But the 3 others includes John Wick 5. The wording's not quite precise, by the way. So they're either they're either in development on 3 others, as well as John Wick 5 and the television series The Continental. Because I mean, yeah, maybe that is what it is. Because if it says which will be airing soon, so that's not really development, is it? Ah, I don't know. The wording's not exact, but never mind. 3 others is bloody. That's a lot. And if there's including 5 and the television series, that's 5 things. 6, including the Ballerina. 6 things. I'm all for this. Maybe nobody will be part of it. Anyway, so he says we're building out the world, and when that 5 movie comes, it will be organic. Will be organically grown out of how we're starting to tell those stories. But you can rely on a regular cadence of John Wick. I like that. I really like that. Because you know what? The cadence, it's not massive. It's not like every single year. It's not like 10 a year. You know, they do them periodically. Nice and regularly. They build a hype. And they always feel like they're earned or deserved. So, yeah, that's not a bad... That's not bad. That's pretty good to hear. So the March 24th release of the Chad Stahelski directed John Wick Chapter 4 was another hit for the Assassin franchise, starring Keanu Reeves, topping $363 million globally. Its success instantly raised questions about the potential for a 5th film that reps from the studio and the director himself agreed was on the table. And this was the statements at the time. Says it's very flattering for them to come back and, you know, say we want more. And it's not just a cash grab. I mean, it kind of is, but this is one of those cash grabs that I'm fine with. It's legitimately the audience wants more, but that is still a cash grab, because if the audience didn't want more, then there would be no cash to grab. So, bit of a dumb statement. But, you know, I'm fine with stuff like that. I think that's okay. You know, again, I mean, maybe that's what he's saying, you know, is that there is a demand for it, so the studio is just appeasing the demand in an organic way. Maybe that's what he's suggesting. But I'm honestly fine with that. A cash grab on this manner, pushing it out and people wanting more of the world, because they've done such a really good job of actually building out these building out these franchises. This particular franchise specifically, sorry. You introduced the first one, very interesting elements to the world that wasn't really fully explained. You're like, okay, wow, this is interesting. Yeah, cool. And then the second one, you're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah. And each one could be a one and done movie. First one could have just been one and done. It would have been fine. But they left it open to a way which, if well written, you have a sequel. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is on the Hollywood Reporter podcast, and it says, I think we all need that little bit of time to go, whew, let's see what's next. If Keanu and I, a few months from now, sit down at a whiskey bar in Japan again and go, yep, we'll never do another one of those. And then all of a sudden go, yeah, but I got an idea. We're open to it. So, yeah. And obviously some slight spoilers. In Chapter 4, Ian McShane, Lawrence Fishburne, Bill Skarsgård, Donnie Yen, Wick uncovers a path to defeating the High Table, a journey that sets in motion the events of the film and its climactic duel at Paris-Sacré-Cœur. The movie concludes with McShane's Winston and Fishburne's Bowery King standing at a grave bearing Wick's name. What really happened, we'll have to wait to find out. This is the thing, it was all off screen. I'm not really going to avoid that many spoilers now. The film's been out for ages. If you're going to watch it, you probably would have done. So a lot of this stuff is like off screen, so meh, could you explain it in an organic way? Yeah, I mean, they always say no one ever really dies unless you actually physically see them die. So I can believe that there'll be a way or an element that they'll choose to bring them back, or him back. And even if they don't, even if they don't bring him back, but they build it out in a different fashion, he's talking about we're building out the world, and when that 5 movie comes, it will be organic. Maybe there's something in there, maybe that's the sort of element. But again, I'm happy with this. I think this is fine. This statement about whether there's development on 3 others, including 5 in the television series. I don't know what he means by that, whether there's actually 5 in development or not. But John Wick 5, what do you guys think? Would you be game for this or not? Because John Wick Chapter 4, some people were lost on that, actually. Some people were seemingly like, not super happy with John Wick 4. Most people, FYI, seemingly loved it. But I do know that there were some people that were not happy with it. So were you in that camp? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What did you think? Let me know down below. And would you watch a John Wick Chapter 5? I would. I think they're the most beautiful films on screen at this point in time. The cinematography is second to none. On a technical perspective, they are some of the best on screen for the last couple of years. So anyway, cheers guys. Take care.